Hello gamers, and welcome to my first look at 11th Division Parachutiste. It actually arrived in autumn last year with the Suchet-Patch. I haven't covered it yet. It arrived together with, I think it was 2nd Infantry Division, the British one. In the meantime, some stuff has happened. Just about now, the Depot de Munitions has been dropped in a patch. So some new stuff here in comparison to when the division actually was released. Let's take a look at the activation slots. They're very standard activation slots here in logistics. Infantry, super cheap slots and plenty of them. Artillery, very expensive and few slots, let alone what we can get here. Tank, some slots. Reckon, okay-ish slots. AA, abysmal with regards to slots. Helicopters, very good with regards to the slots. And air, also decent. So it's a parachute division, so you can actually forward deploy quite a few of your units. And here it actually says advanced deployment. I think that's kind of newish. Indicates distance of advanced deployment. And also, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, traits have been introduced. So this one says airborne. This unit is trained to be inserted onto the battlefield through the air. Highly mobile but lightly equipped. Airborne troops can rapidly deploy ahead of the regular army. So this is basically the forward deployment thing, but there's more stuff. So you get a supply truck that's unique to this division. You get the kangaroo that we already know from, is it Blende? Yeah. Then you have two options for your command vehicle. Cool thing is this one is amphibious, so that could be nice, but the availability is a bit lower. And you get a Puma, also unique to this div. And then the depot, it's not previewed, but it will be displayed. You can only, it costs 250 points. It brings you, I think, 25,000, not 100% sure, 2,500, no, must be 25,000. Deployment points. It can be destroyed with a couple of artillery strikes, and you need to deploy it at the beginning of the game if you want it. So it will be very helpful for artillery play. You can also daisy chain your supply, so you can build a supply depot and then put a Puma transport helicopter next to it, and then put a truck next to that, and then the artillery next to that, so you can kind of create chains and stuff. In the infantry tab you get this infantry squad. It's got the military police trait. This unit features the oft detested military police. As law enforcement, they ensure order behind the lines and instill harsh discipline within the army ranks. Military police units grant a suppression regeneration bonus and remove any unsteady traits of nearby units. Actually doesn't sound too bad, and you get plenty of them. Could be a nice buff. I haven't really tried playing with military police that much. You get various HMG options. This one here being unique because it's a paratrooper. French paratrooper, another French paratrooper, and this is the only French paratroop division, so obviously it's unique. You get the reservists. They are already known from Blende. They are disheartened. Is it called disheartened here? No, it's called reservist. Like me, I'm a reservist. This unit is made of part-time soldiers, such as hastily called up reservists, former police, or irregular militia. While not scouts with less training and older equipment, they should be considered second-rate troops. They don't have AT options. Then you get the Commandant Sapeur Para. So also unique, obviously, with the FAMAS rifle, limited range. They do have the shock trait. This unit features hardened soldiers specifically trained and equipped for close quarter battles, assault operations, and hand-to-hand combat. Shock units inflict more suppression when fighting at close combat ranges, including woods and urban terrain. So this is where those groups excel. Also here, Sapeur Para with the grenade, and also then you get a flamer version. The advantage of the Flamer version is that you have the increased range, 500 meters, as opposed to basically just the next building. Then you get Commandant Paras, also with some traits, the ones we discussed before. Leader, well, they also give veterancy to nearby units, obviously. Then Shock and Airborne, also Commander. Then you get the Chasseur Para. They are kind of the cheap version of the Legionnaire or Legionnaire Para. Legionnaire Para have the better AT rocket launcher. So for side shotting, the Chasseur Para will be sufficient, but yeah. Or at least do some damage, but the Legionnaire are probably the better option. And considering double vetted, it's the same availability. I don't know why you would go for the Chasseur. Then you get the Milan Paras with the shitty version, and you also get the better version with a slightly less availability but better penetration. With the Milan 2. You get a Commandant Aeromobile, and you get some Aeromobile as well. And the specialty is that they can come in the Super Puma transport helicopter. It does not have a machine gun or anything. It's already in Terra Commander Süd as well. These units, and then you get the group Anti-Car Paras, and that's a double AT paratrooper squad. So pretty cool. You also have the shock trait. So, and hand-to-hand combat can happen in buildings if you enter an occupied building. So that's pretty cool. All in all, you get very strong infantry and options for all, situations. Artillery tab is very bad. You get a slightly mobile mortar with a decent range, 120mm. You get a 105mm howitzer, and you do get this para mortar. So it's airborne. This unit is trained to be inserted on the battlefield. Yeah, can deploy further ahead, and as you can see down here, you can deploy it further ahead. So this is possibly the most interesting unit. It's only 81mm, so worse, also less range, but it's mobile. You can move it around. Tank. There are no real tanks in my opinion, no like proper tanks. You get two Milan versions, the difference being that the VLRA Milan, you get 8 Milan 2 rockets as opposed to just 4, and the availability is slightly decreased. Unique to this deck, you can forward deploy. And then you get this main battle tank. It's amphibious, but 15 penetration is not much. You will need to swarm and side shot, and you only get one card. In the Reckon tab, you get the Sniper SAS. So the sniper units have been recently introduced. Here's the Reckon trait as well. So you can deploy further ahead, much like the paratrooper. And because it's also got the paratroop or the airborne trait, the Reckon trait for this doesn't really help. And then you get the Special Forces trait. They take less suppression in combat, move faster, and deal more damage, which is pretty cool. Depending on on top of the elite veterancy level, so that's good. And they are snipers. This unit contains highly trained sharpshooters who excel in infiltration tactics, camouflage, and reconnaissance. Equipped with powerful scopes, these specialist soldiers can engage targets at long range without being seen. This is pretty cool, and they get a +1 stealth level and accuracy when not moving. Quite substantial. So, yeah, even better than exceptional, I guess. Then you get this Reckon unit. It's basically a special unit. You can bring them in those, VLR 50 cal trucks if you wanted to. And then you get a Recon vehicle here with a heavy machine gun. You get one with a Milan. Then you get this one with a heavy machine gun and a tank gun, but it's an anti-infantry gun. Then you get the Lynx, also a new unit. Also, these units here are amphibious, so you can do quite some shenanigans. And you get the Éclaireur Paras as well, new, and you can forward deploy them. They've got rocket launchers. And you get the Gazelle Lys, known from Territorial Commando Süd, pretty cool looking helicopter. And then you get the Gazelle Cannon, a Recon unit with a Gatling gun, which is even better, in my opinion. Availability is lower though. AA, very mediocre. You get the 20mm AA gun here. You get the same gun mounted on the truck, which I think is better, so you can move around. And you can also forward deploy it. Then you get the Pamela, which is basically Mistrals. You get the Mistral Infantry variant. Same availability for the Manpad unit, and slightly cheaper. Obviously, you can move it around. So, and the Pamela also has 6 more Mistrals. And then you get the Gazelle Celtic, another new unit, 4 Mistrals on the helicopter. Helicopter tab is the strength of the division, and in the recent tier list, Protoss and I think Lath something, they put it in a very, very high tier because you can do the Helo rush and fill this entire tab with Helos basically, and make them do all the dirty work and then resupply them and so on. Maybe fly back, actually make use of the Depot de Munition, and then yeah, you need a lot of skill and it's very micro intensive. You get the Jaguar Seat plane. You have an alternative, I think. Yeah, you can also use the Seat 2 plane. It's your same. That the Seat 2 plane is kind of new in this variant, and it's got the armored instead of the Martel. But yeah, better accuracy. Otherwise, same damage and stuff. But the Seat 1 or normal Seat plane is much cheaper. You have better availability, and you have better electronic countermeasures. You get a Jaguar rocket, which is new. You get a variety of loadouts here. A Jaguar with air-to-ground missiles against tanks. You get a Napalm variant, which is also new. You get this one, which is not new, HE variant. You get a new cluster bomber. You get the Mirage FIC, that's known from Blende. And there's a Mirage AA variant here in the 2000C RDI, that's already known from Territorial Commando Süd. And yeah, I think the RDI has the edge a little bit because it's got better electronic countermeasures and more range for the air-to-air missiles. So I would prefer that one. You get a Mirage Cluster 1 bomber that's new. And you get an HE plane here. Jaguar unguided bomb, that's also new. And I think they didn't they have a guided bomb somewhere? Am I confusing it with a different div? Yeah, here. The Mirage LGB laser guided bomb actually has a laser guided bomb, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so I will use this one for the screenshot. Unfortunately, I can't, hide like this. And they've changed it. They always used to be the American flag. They did lots of tweaks and stuff. But I really want to have photo mode or this. Yeah, so this is the division. Let me know what you think. I think it's very healy and infantry orientated. The tanks obviously are very weak, but super fast. So you need to basically rush your opponent and get into good positions for side shots then and stuff. I think it can be very good, like the much better players Protoss and so on said, but Lathan I think. And then if your micro is not that good, you will have a hard time with this division I think. Thanks a lot for watching. Until then, bye for now.